Don't forget to like this video and share, and feel free to comment. All these things help the channel. So there's all kinds of little things that we learn about ourselves during meditation. All kinds of background thoughts we don't know or aren't aware of as being there before we start meditating. I recently picked up my practice once again a few weeks back and been meditating every day. It definitely adds a level of stability to one's life in a way that's hard to explain. But yes, back to background thoughts. There's all kinds of little background thoughts you don't realize that you're thinking, because your conscious awareness, your focus is always either on a task or a bigger thought. But there's all kinds of little things that go on in the back of the human brain. I think that the average human can think about 7 things at once. I think that's a low estimate. 7 things at once, and some of it's active, some of it's just background stuff. Can and do are 2 different things. So we usually are thinking about a few different things at once, but we can think about 7 if we kind of direct our attention in different ways within our minds, within ourselves. But you kind of learned how your brain tends to jump to certain ideas or jump to heightened ideas and then judgmental ideas, ideas of self-praise, and then the lows of either realism or back down to self-deprecation. These are some of the extremes. A lot of the milder background thoughts are just not even observations, but I'll get to that. But a lot of the little thoughts are just things that seem to come out of nowhere. Our mind and our brains are very nebulous, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on at once. And all kinds of little thoughts and memories and ideas can trigger other memories that are pulled out of the bank. So it seems extremely random. It seems extremely just out of nowhere. That all thoughts just come into our heads, because we don't usually think of ourselves as conjuring up thoughts. We usually don't think about thoughts in general, but we usually don't think of ourselves as conjuring up thoughts. And we really are when we're allowing these responses to happen to other thoughts. Thought leads to another thought, leads to another thought, leads to another thought. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. Just everything just gets smaller and smaller quantities, smaller and smaller individualized thoughts and sensations. When it comes to observational thoughts, when we hear a sound that reminds us of something, that might pull a memory or pull an opinion, a craving or aversion, or just an understanding in general, whether it be a sight, a sound, a smell, or any of these senses are activated by a certain thought that we're having, and that could be another thought. Now, all this stuff is going on in your average, everyday mental landscape. When you're meditating, you want to bring your focus, for most meditations, bring your focus to your breath and whatever you're saying mentally. The one that I've been doing is the one I've often described. So when I breathe in for 4 to 5 seconds, hold for 1 or 2, and then breathe out. When I breathe in, I say, in my head, say so for the whole length of the in-breath, hold, and it's not like a forced hold, it's just like kind of like a light hold for 1 or 2 seconds. And then when I exhale, I'm saying hum. So, and it's kind of a light hum, and it's just in the head, just hum, so hum. And each word is for the entire duration of the breath. You kind of get used to it over time. And there's another one, hamsa. So hamsa, hamsa. So hum, it's an old Sanskrit kind of saying that means that which I am. Or, to shorten it, I am. So you're kind of saying I am, or that which I am. So I am. And the general reference is I am the soul. I am the watcher behind the mind, behind the body, behind the self, the soul. I am that soul. I am that Purusha. That Purusha Purusha, soul, or Jiva Mukta. Sorry, I sometimes get tongue-tied. But yeah, so you're basically identifying with your soul, and you're saying so hum or hamsa. Hamsa is more of a Buddhist thing, but it's same terminology and same understanding. You're identifying with your soul. I am the soul, basically. And that must be integral to when you're saying it. So you're doing multiple things at once. So you're kind of directing your focus at the watcher, behind the mind, behind the brain, behind the body. And you're saying you're that watcher. You are not the mind. You are not the body. Sadhguru pointed out that in one of his meditation recommendations is when you breathe in, you say, I am not the body. And when you breathe out, you say, I am not the mind. I am not the body. I am not the mind. But you're extending those sentences for the entirety of the breath in and the breath out. And you're just saying it mentally. But not only are you saying things mentally, either way, you're directing the focus at the watcher and identifying with the watcher, not the mind, not the body. The watcher being the soul, the Purusha. And going back to gods and goddesses, Shakti, Shiva, two are the same. They're the same. You can't have one without the other. Shiva is Purusha, which is the soul behind everything. And Shakti is the manifestation. So anything manifested is Prakriti, nature. Anything that's manifested. The unmanifested soul behind everything is Shiva. So Shiva, Shakti, they have to be together. There can be no world, there can be no anything without both being active. And when we're meditating and we're breathing, it takes a while to kind of like learn how to focus on the breath and how to say these things mentally and how to recognize the thoughts that you're having regardless, despite trying to focus, and just allowing those thoughts, not forcing them out, but just allowing them to go by. And a lot of the time, you might really want to cough at one point during meditation. And you might feel like that tickle in your throat is the entirety of your reality. And that is the only reality that you know. And you cannot focus on anything else because your throat tickles so much. If you can not identify with the body enough to just allow that to exist in the background, that's great. If it becomes the entirety of your focus and you really think that you got to cough, trust me, you don't actually need to cough. Your throat's going to physically be okay. But if you cannot not identify with the body enough and you have to cough, then just cough. That's why it's good before you sit down and meditate is to check your breathing apparatus, make sure that your nose is clear enough to breathe in and breathe out, and if not, blow your nose. And also kind of feel like if you have to cough or clear your throat beforehand, and just check your breathing, how your breathing's going, and check your posture, keeping your back straight. I have this meditation mat that I have been using for, it's got to be at least 12 years. But this meditation mat is, it's not really a mat, it's more of a pillow, to be honest, but I've been using this one for a very long time. If you buy a good one, it'll last you. But I've had that for probably about 12 years, and I keep it right below my main altar and shrine. But I always sit in front of Ma Kali and meditate in front of her and offer the meditation to her afterwards. Now, it might be easier for you to open up your breathing and to help your focus if while you're meditating, your palms are open and they're resting kind of on your knees or thighs, and your arms, your forearms and your arms are slack, and your hands are resting with your palms open. That often helps you breathe better, but some people find it's easier to focus if you have your fingers like this, and then you rest your palms on your knees just the same way, or kind of to the side like that. If your arms don't want to stay like this, then kind of like turn them like that. It's easier to focus for some people if you connect these fingers right here. But spine should always be erect, and you should always be right at the edge of your meditation cushion. That tailbone should be right at the edge, so you're not feeling like you're falling back, but you can kind of rest and lean a little bit back into the meditation cushion by being right on the edge of that meditation cushion. Same with if you're going to do it in a chair, and sit back, keep your back straight, and a chair is fine. Meditation cushion is best. Cross-legged is fine, that's what I do, but half lotus or full lotus posture, you can look those up online. But those postures, if you can get your legs to do that, are more recommended. but you shouldn't hurt yourself in any respect. And I found that sometimes when I'm meditating, it's extremely hard to focus, but I just keep on doing it. Just keep on bringing the focus back. Just keep on. And if you feel like you can't imagine, like, I give up, don't give up. Just keep trying. Unless there's something going on around you where you have to stop. But don't give up, no matter how unfocused you are. Just keep on bringing it back to your practice. Keep on bringing your focus back, trying. I remember one time, this is a while back, but I remember one time, like, I was very emotional, just done crying, and I had to, it was such a hassle to meditate after that, but I had to, clear my nose. That was kind of hard to do. And then I noticed when I was meditating, my face kept twitching and my eyelids kept twitching. And I'm like, this is, I stopped myself from thinking thoughts about it. But I just let my face do its thing and keep on doing that until eventually it calmed down. But there's so much that meditation can teach you about things like that, where if you just let things pass, no matter how extreme they might seem, no matter how agitated that you might feel, if you just let it pass and you practice that in meditation, you'll find that you're able to do that in a number of different situations. That you won't run away from as many situations, or you won't avoid certain ideas, certain topics. You'll just wait them out. And sometimes, what meditation helps us do is kind of, so I'll tell you a story. So Vivekananda, when he was in India, he was being chased by these monkeys, and he was running when he was younger. And somebody yelled at him, just turn around and face the monkeys. So he just turned around and faced them, and then they ran off. What meditation helps us do is face those monkeys, those things that we don't want to face within ourselves, and those situations that we don't want to face in life. And it helps us be able to turn around and face those monkeys that are coming at us. But letting things pass, learning that in meditation by really getting to know yourself, your body, how your soul feels, how your mind works, getting to know all of that stuff, and realizing how instrumental and useful it is to let a lot of these tendencies pass, or to face them, rather than just pushing them off to the side for years and years, or days or months, however long, or hours. But facing them as well, that can give us unlock our tremendous potential in our life, and allow us to be us in a way that we're not necessarily becoming a different person, but we're growing from who we are. We're working with that dirt, that manure, to create a beautiful flower of a life. And yeah, those are some of my general thoughts about meditation, kind of a rant video. I hope this was useful. I hope this was interesting. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day.